Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 50 Shades of Tay. I'm Taylor Gonzalez, and my guest today is an award-winning voice actor known for her work in Rick and Morty and Destiny Rising, and now is the voice of Magic in the brand new Marvel fighting game, Marvel Tokon. I'm so excited to be joined by Jesse Vilinsky. Jesse, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, good. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited to talk all things Magic with you and Marvel Tokon. What a beautiful game. Have you had a chance to play it now that it's out?
I have definitely been watching a lot of videos of all of the wonderful, amazing, much more skilled gamers than I playing. And it's been really fabulous to see everybody enjoying it. It truly is beautiful. The team did an amazing job.
Yeah, I think the way they designed all the characters and just the stages that they did, there's so many details like in the
Mm,
background. I was watching some gameplay yesterday and I saw Gambit and Nightcrawler. Just really fun Easter eggs and just such a fun way to have a fighting game where you recognize so many, locations and characters that are in the background.
yes, definitely.
Well, Magic is such an incredible character. I love that she's getting more representation in media. When you were auditioning for Marvel Tokon, did you specifically know you were auditioning for Magic?
No, not at all. Um, with games, when we're auditioning for games, rightly so, the developers are very hush hush about what games we're auditioning for, what characters we're auditioning for. So generally, when I get auditions, the game itself has a code name, the character has a code name. I might be able to sort of figure something out sometimes, depending. But for this game in particular, I had no idea who I was auditioning for until I got in the booth after I didn't even know when I got the email from my agent that I booked it. I didn't know until I got in the booth what I was doing.
Oh, wow. Do you
Yeah.
remember Magic's code name?
Shoot, I don't. I don't remember it exactly. Um, and I'll be honest with you, even if I did, I probably wouldn't tell you because the studios might want to use it again.
Yeah, that's very true. One of my
Yes.
favorite things is filming locations. I like seeing because there's like a lot of, filming around LA. I like
Yes.
seeing later what the code name was. I'm like, oh, that's what they were filming at the park, or that's what they were filming
Yes.
down the
Whenever
street.
you see those like fun signs, the yellow signs that are up on like the lampposts or whatever, and I always see those and try and figure out based on the code name what it is. Sorry, tangent. Years ago, many, many years ago, I was an extra for an episode of Glee, and I remember the code name was the name of the high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I always love finding out what they were and then why they used that specific code name.
Yeah.
Ah, so fun.
Mhm.
Did you know that Magic is like consistently one of the top picked characters in Marvel Tokon right now?
I've been seeing some things that have said that recently, and I have to say that I'm absolutely chuffed by that. So thank you, everybody.
That is so cool because so many people are getting to, experience this character that you brought to life and hear your hard work that you poured into, creating this take on her. Just such a
Yes,
fun thing. And it's so cool to see that, a character that's not as mainstream as someone like Spider-Man or Iron Man is getting, picked so much. That's really cool.
I know. I'm incredibly grateful.
We've had a few iterations of Magic so far, from Anya
Yes.
Taylor-Joy in New Mutants a few years ago. And then in my favorite video game of all time, Marvel Rivals, I'm like addicted to that game. I love
Yes.
that portrayal of her as well. But how did you go about creating your own specific take on Magic?
I would say that a little bit I was inspired by Anya Taylor-Joy. I actually worked on New Mutants a little bit. So I got to have some knowledge of magic and her portrayal of magic. And the main thing that we talked about in the studio was that this iteration of magic she always has rage, but this iteration in particular has quite a bit of rage. Um, which we find out why that's occurring in the game. But I really was able to tap into that and her physicality, with it being such an intense fighting game and understanding that this is also a more almost teenage version of magic. And so you've got the element of limbo, coming in and though that affecting her as well as she's a teenager, so um, her decision-making skills are going to be that of a teenager. And so bringing that in along with she's incredibly powerful and I wanted that power to be front and center and so did the team, so that worked out well.
That is awesome. Are you allowed to say what you did when working on New Mutants?
Oh, I did a voice match for Danny Moonstar.
Oh, how fun. That
Yeah.
movie was really fun. It came out in the middle of the pandemic, so it wasn't, I don't know if it was in theaters, but I got to go to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena and they had it turned into like a drive-in and had like a little premiere event and some of the
Oh,
cast was there. It was
cool.
so fun. So that movie always will hold like a special, memory for me because it was when we couldn't really do much, but they
Yeah.
turned the Rose Bowl into like a pop-up drive-in. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was really fun to just do a little bit for that character, just mostly like a lot of efforts
Mm.
for her, and it was fun to be able to help out on that project. I loved that. It was fun to see a darker turn because we hadn't really seen that, especially with mutants at that point. So it was nice and dark and edgy, and I like that.
Okay, when you say efforts, do you mean like all the grunts and like when you get punched and when you're, kicking and stuff like that?
Yes, exactly. That or like running even just or rolling down a hill. Like we will do all of those breath sounds and any sort of anything nonverbal.
Wow. So when you're voicing magic for Marvel Tokon, do you have a list of efforts that you have to do, and how do you go about doing that?
Yes, you do have efforts that you have to do for sure. There are specific efforts that the team knows being that they've been developing all of her combos and moves, especially with the fact that she has a honkin' sword. That soul sword is not light. Um, but so they know the efforts that they're looking for that are going to be front and center in the game. And so I will then bring my skills. I have a black belt in Taekwondo,
Oh, wow.
so being able to take that and translate it. It looks really silly in the booth because I'm basically shadowboxing almost. I will do a lot of those moves. Like I really, each time that she brings up that sword and brings it down, I was doing those moves as her myself in order to get that power behind that effort and that sort of guttural, like you have something hefty in your hand and you have to bring it down as hard as possible. So I wanted you all to feel that power behind that, and the best way that I have found to do that is to basically do it myself in the booth.
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. I've talked to so many voice actors, and they always tell people the one thing that maybe they didn't expect, and also people might not know about voice acting is how physical it is. Do you use any props when you are voice acting?
I it depends. I have before. I've done some, I was in the Division Two, and we got to use, fake guns and grenades and fake knives and stuff that kind of helped us with that feeling of having that object in your hand. That was more toward the beginning of my career. At this point, I have good muscle memory of those things, so I don't always have to have that in order to get the efforts out. Um, but I will say that, like, when I'm doing a job that requires your character to be underwater, sometimes we'll take a swig of water and have that in our mouths, and that'll be helpful. Or um, chewing, faking chewing. You can tell it sounds fake. And so, we'll stick in a piece of gum and make sure that we're really chewing so that it sounds like it. Um, when a character needs to have like a pipe or something in there, like if they're talking, they like if they're building something, they've got a nail in their mouth, right? While they're building, then I'll kind of do this kind of thing and I'll put my finger in my mouth or something to get that sound there so that you're having that immersive experience
Yeah.
as a listener.
Oh, that is so fun. Well, one of my favorite things about what the Marvel video games specifically are doing is that they're bringing awareness of characters that people might not know, like Jeff the Land Shark or Luna Snow, to a wide audience.
Mhm.
If somehow there are people out there who don't know who Magic is and they are discovering her for the first time playing as you, what is something that you would want them to know about Magic?
Um, what I love is Magic's backstory. The fact that she grew up in limbo. And I think that you see Magic, and if you're brand new to Magic, you see her for face value of like, whoa, she's super powerful and super strong, and also very rageful. What? What? I don't know why, but she's all right. But when you delve into it, and this is what I love about Marvel so much, is that they create these amazing, rich backstories for their characters, and they may have extraordinary circumstances, but they're rooted in such reality that we can all relate to.
Mm.
Like, yes, she grew up in limbo. That's crazy pants. But you could also liken that to somebody having grown up in, you know, an unhealthy foster system, right? Just to give a one for one for that. That's the way that I look at it, is I can always see the truth in the backstories and the foundations that they've created for these characters. While yes, it's fantastical and there's multiverses and there's Dormammu and all of these amazing characters. But at the heart of it all, that's exactly what there is. There is heart. And I think that's the main thing that I would say with Magic is that while she is has a very tough exterior, and I wouldn't say that she's soft or gooey on the inside. Um, but she is a real person on the inside. That's how I view her anyway. And so she gets my compassion every day.
Oh, that is great. I was listening to all the different lines of dialogue that you got to deliver, and she has, I don't know, so many like good one-liners and like such a fun attitude about her. I wrote down one of my favorites was, um, I've been through hell already. You can't do anything to me. I think that's a really fun one. Did you have a favorite line of dialogue for her?
Um, when she's about to fight danger, when she says, "Oh, beep boop, beep boop," that was one of my favorites. Um, just because it was so not only so magic, but it was so teenager.
Mm.
Because it's like any teenager who's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. I don't care what you say. Leave me alone. I don't listen to you. And the best part of her being like, I don't listen to you. I don't listen to anyone, especially a robot.
Oh, so fun.
Yes.
Was there one line of dialogue that sticks out to you that was tricky, whether it was to nail the tone of it or just to get that delivery just right?
Two things. One where I can't remember the exact line, but I do remember that obviously I do a very thick Russian accent for magic, which I love doing and is not necessarily the same as a fluent Russian speaker in Russia today, but really fits Magic as a character. If you're not careful, it can go Scottish. And there's definitely one day where we were on a break, and so we all started speaking in a Scottish accent, and I got stuck for like 5 minutes. So we had to get that out. So that was definitely a tricky situation, but I think we did all right with it. And then the line, I've got a better idea. How about you get stuffed? For some reason, stuffed was like a bit of a tongue twister for me.
Oh my gosh. Oh, so fun. I also love that there's like specific interactions with different characters like Wolverine and stuff like that.
Yes.
Was there a interactive line of dialogue that's like aimed towards a specific character that you loved?
Not a specific line per se, but I did always love her interactions with Storm and Wolverine because there's a different layer to those interactions than she has with anybody else, right? When it comes to danger, she has very little respect for danger. When it comes to Magneto, she has very little respect for Magneto. I think she's intrigued by Ghost Rider, for sure. But when it comes to Storm and Wolverine, those are her direct mentors who can actually pierce through any bravado that she has. Um, One, because Wolverine has a very acute understanding of the rage aspect of things, and Storm will not be knocked down, right? She's Storm.
Mhm.
And so there's that motherly big sister mentor relationship between those two. And then with Magic and Wolverine, there's that almost big brother, I would say more like favorite uncle
Yeah.
relationship. And so I loved all of their interactions. I thought those were all, and I loved how the team really played into that. I thought the
Yeah.
writers were just everything they came up with was just gold. And I just it was very easy for me to tap into everything that they created, and I just got to go play.
Oh, how fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love all the different interactions because it makes you want to try different combinations of characters that are on the same team, but then also, that you're fighting against, just to hear what you haven't heard before. And even with a game like Rivals that's been out for over a year now, I'm still every day hearing stuff I've never heard before. And I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
what a cool way to make the game fresh, just to have it keep going and going and unlocking all these new interactions.
Yeah.
Ah, so much fun. Uh, so we mentioned that Magic is part of the Unbreakable X-Men team with Storm and Wolverine and Danger. If you could add another character to that roster, who else would you want on your team?
Um, hmm. I mean, I know everybody would want Colossus.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say no to that at all because I would love to see the actual brother-sister relationship. I think that would be, especially with, she having been in limbo and him not, like, you know, uh, ve- I have half siblings. Not that they're half siblings, but I have half siblings that I didn't meet until much later in life. So, when you meet a sibling later in life, that creates a very different dynamic than when you've grown up with that sibling. So I would be super curious about that. I would also, just because I think it would create some really amazing moves, I'd love to see Iceman.
Oh, that'd
I
be awesome.
mean, I think like the combos and the power, especially like the power combos, like the super combos, I would love to see what they create for that. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I agree. I also would love to see her team up with Nightcrawler just because they could both do
Yes.
some teleportation stuff together, and I just feel like two of them together could do
Yes.
some really unique fighting, combos, and I just would love to see what that would look like.
I love that you bring that up because one of my favorite interactions was in story mode in the game when the promoter teleports all of them, back to the arena and is like, I know, is your stomach a little queasy? Teleportation is not for everyone. And Magic is like, I've been teleporting since I was 5. And she's very offended. I love that.
Oh, such a fun line as well.
Yeah.
So we're just a few days away from D23 this weekend,
Mm.
and I think they're going to announce who the cast of X-Men is for the MCU. If they were to bring Magic to, the MCU version of X-Men and all the stories that they have going on, do you have somebody in mind that you would like to see play her in live action?
I mean, I would love to see Chloe Grace Moretz play her.
Oh, wow.
I think she would, I mean, just seeing her in when she was younger, like her skills were just amazing and I feel like she could tap into the personality of Magic really, really well. I mean, I think Anya Taylor-Joy did an amazing job. And if she were at all interested in coming back for it, that would be super cool too. But I would love to see Chloe.
Oh, that is such a good one. I was like stumped on that because I really want to see Anya Taylor-Joy again, but it
Yes,
might be a little bit confusing to people since she's played her before if they were to
right.
bring her into a new, cast. But Chloe Grace Moretz, she has the physicality too because
Yeah,
she's done, Kick-Ass. So I
yeah,
just feel like,
exactly.
wow, that's a perfect one.
Thank you.
So yeah, if I can't get Anya Taylor-Joy to come back, Chloe would
Yes.
be such a
It
fun.
seems like it's got to be at least somebody with 3 names.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's the criteria.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh. Well, before we go, I did want to ask, what was your favorite thing about getting to voice magic?
Um, my favorite thing, oh gosh, there's a lot. I would say one being that I got to call my husband after, the game came out and just be like, "So, I'm an X." Like that's kind of the dream, right? In my world, the fact that I get to be a part of this universe, that I'm in the Marvel universe, even in a small part, is just wild to me. Um, but I also love that I got to play a badass, you know, like soul sword wielding.
Yeah.
There's not there aren't a whole lot of characters in this universe I think that could really go toe to toe with magic. And so um not only do I get to be a part of this, but I get to embody magic. Like I just every day I wake up and I go, it's just cool that I get to be here at all. My great grandmother came over from Russia, so the fact that I also get to play a Russian character just makes me feel good um, for my family. And yeah, she's a badass. I've wanted to be a badass my whole life, and now I get to play one on TV.
That is so awesome. I love that for you. I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to be here. If people want to follow you and keep up with all your other upcoming projects and
Yes.
announcements, where's a good place for people to come and follow you?
I would say I'm most active on Instagram. So JS Vilinsky on Instagram is where I am most. I'm on TikTok a little bit, um, mostly for doom scrolling. And it's the same handle on TikTok. And those are the places that I would say I'm the most active.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Congratulations on the release of the game, and I will see you on the battlefield.
Thank you so much. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.